I've been reluctant to start work on this, pulling it apart, because well, it's such a complicated mechanism, and even though I've got to a certain extent with it and done okay, the inner two plates, in between those two is a hell of a lot of gears and whatever, but they do need to be cleaned. And also I was reluctant also because the idler tyre, I didn't see any point in getting in there until I had that. Well, as it turns out, I do have one. That's it there. It's meant to be for a few models, including the 1000 ZXL. It's a STC 7874. Oh, outside diameter 0.7874 inches. That's what it is. Don't know why they're in inches. I mean, these would have all been designed in metric. Tomorrow, I think I will have a go at separating these two plates. Biggest decision will be decide whether to go from the back or from the front. That I'm just not sure about yet. All sorts of little gizmos in here, like there's this little tiny opto, there's a little wheel in here that spins around, and it was actually damaged, but fortunately it was able to be straightened okay. Now I have a set of belts, a new tyre, and a bill. Put them aside and let's have a look. Now, I may have mentioned before that this machine was, the inside of it was covered with this cloud of muck from the exploding capacitor on the display board. So it's got into everything, and of course into here as well. Very similar to the 482 I just repaired. But we don't need that right this moment. Now, from working on the 482, it's a very similar mechanism, mostly the same in fact, but there are some differences, of course, like for example the azimuth motor that sits here. The cam motor appears to be a little bit different type, and the capstan motor is different. It actually, well, I think it's different. It has some sort of regulator bolted to the outside, so hopefully I won't have to repair that. The actual top plate, you can actually unscrew it. That makes a pleasant change instead of popping it off. To pull it apart, I remember that the wires come up through here, but we've also got some extra wires here from the what looks like the bias control, bias fine, I think, I don't know, or speed control or something on the left. What else we got here? Oh, you've got the wires from the heads. Okay, what I'm thinking of trying to do is to remove wires that are just going to be a pain in the button, flop around everywhere. So first thing to try is the little circuit board here. It actually has a separate screw hole. On the 482 it combines with this one here. So it's a little bit different, but that's okay. I may unsolder these, I think. I may end up unsoldering a lot actually, but to do that I need to write down where they all are. Okay, now they're the official abbreviations that you use when you're using those colours. You don't use other letters. They're the two you use: BK, BN, RD, OG, YE, GN BU VT GY WH. 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Stick that away in your little info file, and whenever you see those letters, that's what they mean. And I truly advise you to actually use them. Now, alright, that's those motors. Now, I unsoldered this unscrewed this at one stage, so that can stay separate. Okay, well, rather than unsolder this pot on the left-hand side, I'll just unscrew it. That makes life a little bit easier. And of course, I'll put the screw back in. Right. Now, I remember though that this little thing in here is a bit of a pain. We'll undo this zip tie. We don't need him. And I could, it's two wires, a black and a brown, I could just unsolder them. There's a little contact adjustment here. I can't recall whether or not it's fixed in a position or whether it's adjustable. Might be easier just to unsolder it. It's pretty easy. So right, so what we'll do is we'll do a side thing here on my drawing. I'll just do a little pictorial representation. Some say you shouldn't use water to clean soldering tips, it contaminates it, and that you should use one of these for straight just wiping the muck off with a little brass curly wigs things. I just do whichever feels good at the time. I've used a water-based foam for my soldering for decades, and it certainly cleans the tip nicely usually. So if I was in a super scientific NASA type arrangement, I guess I would follow proper protocols, but this ain't rocket science. Oh, that was a good pun. I hope if I turn it on. Now remember from the other, the 482, is that you need to release all these springs around it. Whoops. Not like that, but slowly. There's this major one here, which is normally, it's in a cylinder of plastic to stop it rubbing against other things. This is for the release of the front drawer. So there's one, two, there should be, I think, two or three others. There's one here, yes. So, yep. And one here, so just two more. So that makes 1, 2, 3, 4 in all. I thought there was another one. No, just 4. Okay, well. Okay, I think my iron should be hot enough by now. It's a bit more involved. They actually wrap the wire through a couple of lugs. It's not just point soldered on. I'll use some solder wick. to clear it away a bit. Oh, dearie me. It's wound on tight on the lugs. Oh, it's wrapped around at least once. Oh, here we go, slowly but surely. Oh God, it was really wrapped around it. When I'll put it back on, I'll just use a single hook. I won't wrap it around. Now the black one. They're not soldered on at all. Oh dear. Oh, and they go up to this connector. Oh, that means I can't, unless I open the motor. Yeah. I might have to have a look. That's easy enough. And the yellow one here. Oh, actually, it's a good thing. Oh, I opened it up. All that muck is inside here as well. Oh. Yeah, well, I've just discovered a lot of that muck is inside this motor. So if it's inside this one, that means it's probably inside this one and this one as well. So, damn, I may have to open up all three motors. I've already had to open up the azimuth motor, so, well, I guess it's sort of to be expected. Well, I've just hit a little hurdle, and that is I've got the latest episode of The Mandalorian, so I need to go and watch that. So I'll come back to this.